farmer, friend, singer-songwriter, Lyal Strickland.
And that's farmer, friend, and jack of all trades, Chris Horn.
And we're those Tastebud Guys.
I do have a unicorn hair out of my forehead that's about 1.5 inches long with silver that's sticking out that I just realized today.
Well, I hope that's how we start this episode, was with a unicorn hair. Hey guys, welcome back. Thanks for joining us. Like, subscribe, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Snapchat, and of course Patreon.
Yes.
So, we are doing something that's caused a lot of discussion before we started recording.
Yeah.
On multiple levels, partly because it's from Indiana, partly because it's from Ohio, partly because their weird marketing statement doesn't match up with what their label statement is. I have to assume the label statement is the most accurate because it has to go through a federal level, but I don't know.
It's also a super cool bottle and a super cool label.
I do like the label.
So I have played a lot through Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
I've played a few times through Ohio, but usually my Ohio runs are on my way to New York and Boston and Philadelphia. But
that's right. You are a musician. You play music. Shocker.
Did you see how that plug worked?
Mm-hmm. LyleStrickland.com.
No.
Hey, for those of you that's jealous, I changed shirts this time. I'm wearing Lyal Strickland's shirt because I didn't bring an extra one.
You lucky bastard.
I am a lucky bastard. Can't button it all the way up because my boobies are too big.
This is from
Jared.
Yes, it's from Jared. It's distilled in Indiana, bottled and distributed from Ohio.
In Ohio, that's correct.
Yeah.
But that's not the part that bothered us. The part is, it says Kentucky... no, it doesn't. Kentucky, sorry. Skip that. Bourbon whiskey finished with sherry oak staves, double oak bourbon. But bourbon has to be aged for 2 years.
2 years in new American white oak charred barrels.
But what you read to me a while ago was...
a minimum of 1 year, which is not bourbon.
Right.
Now, that said, that's literally the first thing, and I was like, Noble Oak Bourbon. That's the first thing that popped up on Google.
So there's some contradictory information out there that we're not sure about. I have to go back to the label because labels are federally approved. It has to be.
Here's the thing: just looking at the color of this thing,
it don't look like 1 year, does it?
Unless they added caramel coloring to this, I can't imagine this being a 1 year.
I love the label. Lyle asked me to guess where it was from. I thought it was California just because of the label. Shocked that it's from Indiana. Great pour. Great pour there, Jared. Who is standing just off screen. And I'm going to pour him a pour. Not as big as what Lyal had.
I wanted to get the right color on the glass.
Like I can't see it in the bottle.
Right? I have great expectations for this bourbon. I'm pretty sure it's going to be great.
What is your expectations?
So, honestly, I love the bottle. I love the label. I think that it's going to be fairly good. Good?
The nose says you're right. So we've been kind of holding this one back most of the night. This is like our 5th or 6th episode of the night. So if I was wearing the other shirt for the last few episodes, same night. Okay, I don't know if it's because I'm drinking out of the same glass, but there's a bit of a rye quality to it. There's that dirty nose. I rinsed my glass out, but I'm starting to think that I didn't get clean enough.
Oh, the finish on that is quite nice.
Is that the sherry that we're smelling?
Yeah, so here's the thing. So this says that it is aged, well, the thing on Google said 1 year, but I can't imagine this is a 1 year aged bourbon, which is not a bourbon.
No.
So this is aged traditionally as a bourbon. And
so
then it says
2 years minimum.
And it says finished with sherry oak staves. Now the staves is the big part, right? This goes back to the Budweiser Jim Beam collaboration for the Copper Lager, where they go, we can't possibly age all of Budweiser in Jim Beam barrels. We'll just throw the barrels in with the beer. I assume that's the same sort of take on this with
that would
sherry
mean that
casks?
this particular distillery is huge.
Not necessarily.
Well, I mean, that would kind of lean towards
It could also
being
mean
very big.
that they took their bourbon barrels and broke down sherry casks and put a couple of staves in each barrel.
Okay. Well, I've never heard of them. I've never heard of Noble Oak before this bottle arrived tonight.
Me either.
I like the label. I like the color. I like the smell. And I damn sure like the taste of it.
There's a nice wine quality to it.
Yes, that's exactly where I was heading with it too. There is this wine-esque quality where it's got this almost...
It's almost like a heavy Merlot.
Merlot, yeah. Absolutely. So, all right, we're on the same page with it. There,
All right,
COVID handshake.
If we just go 12 episodes into a night, we're on the same page.
It's like 6, but still. This is feeling like the COVID episode. I really like that. Now I realize we're several in, and it gets a little harder to differentiate as you go through several. We tried to give some space between each episode, cleanse our palate, all that kind of stuff.
This one stands out, though. Not necessarily as better, but it stands out on its own, is that it is darker. There are some very deep, rich stone fruit notes to it. Specifically in like cherry, like a dark, sour cherry.
Okay.
There's some like...
So we kind of set this bottle aside to begin with.
Yes.
Because we both thought it was going to be the one we really liked based on marketing. We liked the color of it.
Yes.
I am incredibly happy with that earthy, dirty, grainy.
Yes. Yeah.
That barley-esque, like we talked about before, with like.
But it's not harsh. This is a nice, smooth, fruity.
It's not harsh in that aspect. It's got a hell of a heat to it, though. Very strong heat, for me, on the back end.
Well, the back end for sure. Yeah. Well, what's the sit-up proof-wise?
45 or 46.
So 90 proof. Yeah, it's pretty hot.
It has a
I like hot
barley-like quality.
But a little sweeter.
Okay, so is that the sherry?
I would assume so. I assume that all the sweetness that I'm tasting is sherry, but not necessarily aged in sherry casks like the Balvenie 12-year Doublewood, which is legitimately aged in sherry casks. I assume that this is staves thrown in to bourbon barrels.
I guess I could make that association to Balvenie Doublewood. This is one I wish I was smarter about. I wish I knew more about it.
I need a little bit of water in this one.
I don't think that's going to stand up.
Really? All right. We'll see.
Yeah. You got quite a bit bigger pour. You can waste more. Laughs. Dumps it everywhere. I'm a fan of this one. Now, we did this Sonoma for you guys a week or so ago. For us, it was like 15 minutes ago, 20 minutes ago. What? Yes, no? Am I wrong?
Not as much as I did, but...
I don't think it's strong enough to stand up to water.
Now, that takes the heat away by a long shot.
So the Sonoma, when we did it, the rye would not stand up to water. And I didn't put but about a half a capful in it.
So this makes it a little sweeter.
Let me just try yours. I'm not convinced that's going to be...
It's a little sweeter. It
sounds like iced tea.
It's not as harsh. But I kind of dig it.
Oh, no.
No?
No. I just taste vodka. All I do is taste the alcohol in that with the water on it.
See, I like the taste. The nose is not as strong. The nose is not as potent. But the taste I kind of like.
Guys, this may be one you have to try for yourself. I I don't think we're going to agree where we land on. We both agree we like it, but for different reasons.
So, Jared, would this run $48-50 a bottle? I would put this in. Here's where I'm at with this. This is a boutique bourbon, I assume. I'm going to put this along the same level as Rocktown or where is it? Ozark Distillery, right? But I think that this is the best boutique that I've personally had.
All right, so I'll go with you as far as Rocktown. Rocktown has a bigger barley flavor. This doesn't say anything about barley, so I compared it to barley. I feel like it has that little bit of hay barn, dirty flavor to it, which I like. I don't think it's as strong as Rocktown, which is why I say I don't think you want to put water with it.
I dig it. I get
boutique whiskey. I'll go with. I don't think I've dropped it in with Ozark Distillery. I don't think it's quite the same deal. I also struggle with putting it in the categories of bourbon.
Really?
I don't think I would sip that and go, "Oh, that's a straight bourbon." Does it say straight bourbon? It does, doesn't it?
No, just bourbon.
It's bourbon.
I'm going to say this is in somewhere the neighborhood of Sonoma's Cherrywood Rye. Not the rye
a lot sweeter.
Perspective.
Well, Sonoma in general is a lot sweeter.
Yeah,
a lot cherrier, a lot heavier, fruitier.
I think the fruit notes in this are quite heavy, but not quite as sweet. All in all, I like it. The label's cool. It's cool. I would put this on my shelf.
If you was into drinking barrel-aged porters, this would be like a barrel-aged amber. If that makes sense.
I would put this more in the category of a barrel-aged wine.
You know what? This is closer to some of the tequilas we've had.
That's another episode.
That's a whole different episode. I think this falls in closer to tequilas than when you have some of the...
some of the extra anejos, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's a sweetness about it that lingers and lingers and lingers. It's almost sugarcane quality.
Yeah. Specifically the number one extra anejo, I would say.
I am struggling to remember that one. I don't know. It's been a while since I've had that.
The Cuervo Reserva, close, but
okay.
All in all...
That one, I think you're very close on that one.
But
actually.
You're talking less than half of the price. Pretty damn good bourbon, I would say. I'm not disappointed. I'll say that.
Whiskey in general, 100% agree. I think that's where we both land. Is we both really like this. It has a very good sweetness about it. It doesn't have the hotness quality that most bourbons have.
All right.
Though it does have some alcohol burn. I don't think it has that slap you around quality that most bourbons have.
That's fair.
And they apparently every bottle plants a tree.
I did see something about that on their website. I didn't do a whole lot of research, so but it seems cool.
Well, we tried. I'm sure he quit halfway through like he did the last stuff.
It's very true. All right. Well, until next time.
Whether it be the tree you're planting
or the show that you're planning on visiting to Indiana to buy another bottle of this stuff.
It'll be a noble looking plant, I'm sure.
The food you're eating.
All right, buddy.
Try something new.